Sorry for the bibbly bobbly in the beginning. It is my intention to show that, and if I turn my camera, my iPad, the other way, it'll flash that light reflection. So I'm actually looking at the back of my iPad at a big steel back with a little apple on it. It says iPad at the bottom because my camera shows better reflection this way than if I turn it where I can see what's happening. So I'm gonna have to trust that what I'm saying is being recorded because I just spent 15 minutes explaining something, and when I turned it around, it wasn't on record. Anyway, I want to talk about freedom, right? Okay. The biggest problem that people have with freedom is they want to apply it to this, right? They want to apply it to this, right? But freedom is like love, like truth, like peace, like justice. They're all spiritual processes. They don't happen here and here, right? That's called level down, right? And when you level down, you kind of level into the lower self, right? Which means it's finite, right? Finite means that it will pass away at some point, technically like an illusion. And so you don't attach things like freedom, love, truth, peace, justice to illusions, right? We're supposed to be people who know how to make good decisions, right? Instead, we treat each other like dirt, right? First chance we get to take over somebody, we'll make them a slave, right? And then we have the nerve to talk about how slavery is not, shouldn't exist, or we all got the same instincts when we using this and this, right? But we have to come out of that. We have to start using freedom for what it is. It's a spiritual process. It is infinite truth. It's a spiritual process. It is infinite, right? So here's what happens when you step a level down from spiritual to physical and mental, right? Besides the fact that they become finite. Um, Everything becomes based on things that require this and this to communicate. What we see, what we touch, what we taste, what we smell, what we hear, right? I walk into this room, I know what everything is because I know what it looks like, either from memory of seeing it before or being taught what it is, right? But if I was blind and I walked in this room, I'd have to feel to know what was what, right? I know it's there, I know what it is, but to find it, to sit on it, I'd have to feel, right? So it's different, right? So you don't want to apply things that are free, right, to things that are limited, right? You take away your own freedom right then and there. So I hope that makes sense because that's what happens when you love somebody. Instead of doing it spiritually, it becomes a mental, physical thing. So you take everything you see, touch, taste, smell, and hear, whether it's what somebody else said, what somebody else is doing, what somebody else made it look like, and you argue over dumb stuff, right? Because it's all based on this and this, because that's what happens when you put your heart into it. But it's not talking about this thumping thing in here. It's talking about that thing up here, right? That's connected to that thing out there, right? The spiritual side of you. And that's the side people believe in but don't use, right? Because they want to not be in the driver's seat. They want to give God the wheel. Okay, he gave it to you. And he told you what to do with it, but you can't, so you want to give it back. That's not how it works. The funny thing is that when you find that difference and you start living in your actual freedom, in your actual love, in your actual truth, you're gonna love it. Like, you're gonna love it. That's the funny thing, right? But we're so busy getting caught up in the flesh, in the seeing, touching, tasting, smelling, and hearing, in the way it communicates with each other, right? That we turned our spiritual into an internal ego, an internal superego, and an internal instinctual desire, right? Freud's theories, right? Psychoanalytical theories, right? That are all based psychically, right? Psychically, through the flesh and the mind, right? But we are not just body and mind. We are body, mind, and soul, right? Our body and mind connect with each other. Our soul connects with our spirit, the thing that connects us all, right? But we cut that thing off because we rather do what we see with these instead of do what we see with that. You know, because people told us that it's dead, or the pineal gland, it's been reduced to its least amount of function, and that's all fine and good. But prove it before you believe it. Prove it to yourself before you believe it, right? And just let it take hold of you, and you end up being the reason it doesn't work, right? Prove it to yourself. All right, I guess that's it for right now. Again, I'm still not sure if it's recording because I can't see what it's doing, but I'm gonna have to put some trust in something beyond this, right, on this one. So peace, love, Universal Recovery 360, life coaching classes and videos. I am Universal Recovery. Peace.